Something is making our cars uglier. And I'm not talking about the BMW design team, though they're not helping, are they? No, there's something else that's spoiling the looks of our cars, something that no one can escape from, and it affects all of us. It's the law. I'm Matt Watson, you're watching Carwow, and this is my list of the 10 ways which the law is making our cars uglier. Yes, the law really is making cars uglier. And I've got the proof, starting with AEB, or Autonomous Emergency Braking. Sure, it's a great safety feature, and it probably helped prevent thousands of accidents, which is why it's now mandatory on all new cars. But making it work usually involves a sensor box on the nose of the car, and they look rubbish. So now we've got Audis that look like undercover police cars. Just look at the A6. And the Aston Martin DB12 looks like it has a split lip. And that brings me on to the fact that the worst thing about all this is that the most expensive cars look the worst. For instance, what's that in the grille of the Mercedes AMG S63?
Brother,
It looks like the heating thermostat from a rented flat. And the Ferrari Roma? That's got a 1980s burglar alarm sensor jammed in the lower grille. What were they thinking? But it's about to get even worse. The safety regulations are about to get even stricter. This doesn't just mean ugly sensors. Some cars are about to disappear completely. The Toyota GR86. Gone by the end of this year. Why? Well, because Toyota can't afford to re-engineer the car to pass new updated regulations about advanced safety technology. So these rules aren't just making cars uglier, they're actually killing off some of the best looking cars too. Here's another one. Wheels. Specifically, the law that says wheels can't be exposed beyond the edge of the bodywork. So how do some car companies get around that? Not by making their cars a bit wider, that would be far too logical. Instead, they tack on these plastic spats. And I'm not talking about proper wheel arch extensions on sporty cars like on a Honda Civic Type R. I mean on normal stuff like the Honda CR-V and the Skoda Enyaq and the Polestar 2 and the Mini Countryman and the Volvo C40. The list goes on. All these everyday cars have sprouted a horrible little nubbin on the back arch, as if modern cars aren't already plastered with enough bits of plastic. Is that a Toyota, or have you bought a car by Tupperware? I don't know. You'll actually start noticing these things everywhere next time you drive. The weirdest thing about these crappy bits of plastic is that some high-performance cars still have them. Even something as leery as the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. This is already one of the widest cars ever made, and it still has little spats. Why? Want to sell your car quickly, easily, and for a fair price? Then head to Carwow to have over 4,000 trusted dealers ready to bid on it in an online auction. First, enter your car's registration to get an instant approximate valuation. Then, if you want to proceed, give us some more details and upload some photos, and we'll help you set a fair reserve price for your car. That's the minimum amount you'd be happy to sell it for. Once you've done that, we'll enter your car into an online auction. When the auction's over, we'll let you know the result, and the dealer with the winning bid will be in touch to arrange easy payment and free collection of your car. 93% of sellers surveyed said they got the price they expected or more through Carwow. The best bit is, it's completely free! I put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment to take you directly to Carwow, where over 4,000 dealers are ready to bid on your car. Or you can just click on the pop-out banner that should be appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now. Alternatively, just Google "Help Me Carwow" and we will help you sell your car quickly, easily, and for a fair price. On with the video. Now we come on to door mirrors. Look at a car from 20 years ago, like, say, a second generation Fiat Panda. The mirrors are so tiny, they look like hippos' ears. But now the law says mirrors have to be of a minimum size, and so what do we get? Land Rover Defenders are driving around with truck mirrors, and the Rolls-Royce Phantom looks like it's got inflatable novelty golf clubs on its doors. But this problem is even worse on smaller cars. Look at the Fiat 500e. It's a very cool little car, except for the fact it looks like it has two blimps emerging from the sides. Still, could be worse. At least they don't have cameras for mirrors, because cameras for mirrors are rubbish. Now here's something else the law has opinions about. Sharp edges. In Europe, they're not allowed, which is why we'll never get the Tesla Cybertruck sold here officially unless Elon covers them all in pipe lagging. But did you know the law even prohibits sharp edges on the back of cars? And that particularly affects exhaust for some reason. Whether it's the tucked away real exhaust pipe on the new Mercedes AMG C63, or those weird moulded in pipes that aren't exhaust at all on the Seat Leon, or the strangely beveled exhaust tips that have appeared on cars from a Mini Countryman to an Aston Martin DB12. Honestly, how often do they think we're going to be reversing into someone? Here's another source of back-end ugliness that can be blamed on the law: lights. Specifically, these fiddly extra lights in bumpers that are there because the law says you have to be able to see the backlights at night even if the tailgate is open. So we get stuff like the Mini Clubman or the Audi Q7 or even the Bentley Bentayga. All these cars have extra bumper lights which are harder to see and easier to damage if someone dinks your car in a car park, and they look really messy. It's a lose-lose situation with an extra lose on top. Now there's an answer to this legal requirement, but it ain't pretty. BMW gave the iX a whole set of extra lights inside the boot, and before that the Vauxhall Insignia State had a similar setup. I grant you that it's neater than having extra lights in the bumper, but it also makes it look like your car is pooping out another car. Weird. Okay, since we're talking about lights, here's something else that grinds my gears. Now, the law dictates that all cars have to have daytime running lights, but now that all cars have them, car makers are scrambling to make their DRLs more distinctive, and it's only going one way. Straight into the ugly tree. So, we've got the Kia Niro with lights that look like mystery symbols off a scientific calculator, and since Audi facelifted the Q8, it now has programmable DRLs. What is the point of that? What's more, the VW ID4 has a thin bright strip across the entire nose. It looks like you've nicked the ceiling light from your grand's kitchen. Let's stay round the front of the car for now, because here's another way in which the law is making cars uglier: pedestrian impact rules. They say that there has to be a minimum gap between the skin of the car and the hard bits underneath, like the engine and the bulkheads. So what this means is the fronts of these cars look like they've been on an extra lard diet. And that's not all. Now cars also need a cavity between the nose and the hard metal radiator. You can see all this empty space when the light catches it. And people with some BMWs make it even worse by painting the cross members inside. Why are you drawing attention to this? It looks terrible. You might as well draw an arrow on your face if you got a spot. So what else is the law ruining? Grills. Though not directly. There's no actual law about grills, otherwise we could make those light-up ones on the Skoda Enyaq and the Rolls-Royce Ghost illegal. No. The law here is the one that's going to ban internal combustion cars in many countries by 2035. And car makers are already getting into a right tiz about how to hang on to their identities when all they make are EVs which don't actually require a grille. Apparently the answer is badly shaped fake grills. So you get this on the Audi SQ8 e-tron, and this horror on the Maybach EQS. And whatever the heck's going on here with the new Alfa Milano, or Junior, or whatever it's called this week. Blech. But actually the problem's bigger than that. The laws that dictate how efficient our cars should be and what they run on is ruining the shapes of the cars themselves. So, in the name of aerodynamics, efficiency and range, you get the Mercedes EQE and EQS that both look like differently sized bars of soap. And the Tesla Model Y that looks like a giant computer mouse. Come to think of it, what about the laws governing safety and how far your head is from the top of the windscreen? And how high your headlights are? Well, what do these laws give you? Generic shapes, which is why lots of medium SUVs basically look the same. The Audi Q5, Mazda CX-5, Ford Kuga, VW Tiguan, I mean, they're not exactly distinctive, are they? And finally, we come to front number plates. Now, in most countries, they've been the law for years. So how is it that most car companies don't design the front end of their cars to accommodate them? It's almost like they're surprised that they exist. It's as though they can't think of a place to put them that doesn't crash into some other design feature. BMW do it, Aston do it, Alfa design cars around tiny Italian plates and forget that everyone else's plates are bigger and look tacked on. In fairness, maybe this one is more the designer's fault, or maybe it's just another example of the law making cars uglier. There's a lot of it about. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, it really helps us out. If you click on the video windows, you can watch some more videos, and if you click on the Carwow logo, you can go to Carwow to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.